Today we're going to tie the backstabber. Stop your thread base about 1/3 of the way down the shank and trim the tag end. Hold your dumbbell eyes parallel to the hook shank. Make a couple wraps and pull it tight, allowing them to kick out sideways. Then make a couple cross wraps in each direction. Don't worry if your thread breaks. It happens to everybody. Just reset your thread base and work over the area that it had broke by making a couple wraps in each direction, crossing over the eyes. Then go over one end of the eyes and under the shank, making figure eights. Then split the difference by going under the dumbbell eyes but over the shank. This will pull all the thread wraps tight and lock them in place. Then advance your thread all the way down, partially down the bend of the shank. Synthetic dubbing can be kind of hard to make dubbing noodles with. The trick is to use as little dubbing as possible. I found a few tricks as to wet my fingertips and pinch as tightly as possible to spin it on. Then we're going to make connecting wraps up the shank, allowing the dubbing body to taper up wider as we go. Don't worry if your first dubbing noodle doesn't make the distance. Keep applying dubbing to your thread as needed until you reach behind the eyes. Then make one more small dubbing noodle and really pack it in behind the eyes. Then make a cross or two over the top of the eyes. Now you can either trim this dubbing body super tight to the hook shank, or you can leave it long and shaggy. I prefer to leave it a little bit longer and shaggy because it gives it a lot more movement underwater. After giving it a light trimming, call that good enough. Flipping the fly over, we're going to take our marabou that we separated from the stem, pressing it up against the shank. We're going to just tie it in with a couple thread wraps. And we're going to take our scissors and trim that tag end up as close to the thread as we can. Alright, after we trim some of that bulk away, we're going to finish up building a little head on this fly and hiding all those cut ends. Alright, now we're going to tie in our black hackle. Trying not to capture any of the marabou. Make one wrap and then hold the marabou back while you finish tying in your black saddle hackle. Then take your scissors and trim that stem off. Now with the help of our hackle pliers, we're going to make connecting wraps with the hackle up towards the eye of the hook. Hold back the marabou while you make your first wrap. Then, between each wrap, hold back the hackle from the previous wrap. Continue making wraps until you reach the eye of the hook. Now work your thread up through the hackle without, trying to not catch any of the fibers. Tie in the tag end of the hackle. Make a couple wraps, and then snip the tip of the saddle hackle free. Then pull all the hackle back you can at once. And build up a small head at the end of the fly. Now you're ready to throw in a quick whip finish. Pull it tight. You can add a second one for good measures. And then cut your thread free. Now you can add a little bit of UV resin to your thread wraps. This will just add a little bit of durability to your fly. Then hit it with your UV light and you're ready to go.